Hello and welcome everyone to OnPoint Technologies PCM and Mac Mall webinar Wednesday. We are thrilled to have you with us for today's Microsoft Surface webinar, which is on Catalyst for Digital Transformation. And to present on this topic, we have got Mike Nichols, who is Senior Business Development Manager from Microsoft Surface. But before going into our main presentation, we have got a few housekeeping items. Please remember to enter your questions in the question box on your right-hand side, and I'll relay those over to our speaker at the end of the presentation. We do send out a survey at the end of the presentation. Please fill it out and let us know how we did, as well as topic you'd like to see covered in the future. You can also view our future webinars by going on our website at www.onpoint.com/webinars and also on www.pcm.com/webinars. We are also recording this webinar, which will be available for playback in the next few days. Recordings are posted to our webinar page as well as upcoming webinar schedule. And with that, we are going to go ahead and get started with our main presentation. I'm happy to hand it off to our main speaker, Mike Nichols, Senior Business Development Manager from Microsoft Surface.
Thank you, Norman. Appreciate it. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Mike Nichols. I am the Senior Business Development Manager for Microsoft Surface here at PCM OnPoint Mac Mall. And today, we're going to talk a little bit about Microsoft devices and how they can energize your digital transformation in your organization. So I guess before we start into this, like when we talk about digital transformation, what do we really mean when we say that? Because it's a term you hear all the time. I'm seeing it left and right. Everyone usually has a specific view or a unique view on what it is and how it's done. But in a business context, it typically refers to the use of digital technology to improve outcomes, right? So doing things in a better and more efficient way by digitizing the way that people work, transforming business models to provide a complete new type of customer experience, and developing new revenue streams by putting innovation at the heart of everything that organizations do. It really is that simple, right? Digital transformation is just that, and we see opportunities every day for it. I know personally from one of my own experiences that I had, when I went in to upgrade my cell phone, it was sort of a less than ideal experience, I would say. As I entered the store, I was greeted by a sales associate. They had a clipboard, and they were writing down a bunch of information, right? They wanted all my information, right? My address, my password, the type of phone that I was looking for, all the accessories that I wanted, everything except my social security number, I think. Even that might have been written down, right? So, we went through that, and I was working with that associate and provided all that information. They wrote it all down, right? And then, when it was my turn to actually go up and start, working through the process and getting everything activated, when I got there, the other sales rep had my sheet sitting there, and for whatever reason, couldn't read the other person's handwriting, whatever the reason was, but then started asking me all the same questions and all the same information that I just discussed, with the previous associate that wrote it down. And, it's a little frustrating, right? Because I was already waiting for quite some time, to get this done. And there were quite a few other customers standing around waiting for this to be done. And to sort of have to go through that again, it elongated the process. It made it longer for everyone. And I started to notice, customers were actually leaving, because they just didn't want to wait around anymore, or they didn't have the time. Maybe I can't remember exactly what time I did this. I think it was around a lunch break or something like that. But everybody, it was pressed for time, and they just couldn't wait around. And something like that really, can drag the process out when you're repeating information over and over again. So that's sort of one of my experiences and one of my observations that I saw that, there could have been a different way to do that, right? And digital transformation is the way. And it's really happening at a fast pace too. The number sticks out 100% on this slide to me. And really, the real issue is the pace at which this change is happening, right? and that challenge that it's creating for the organizations and their companies. And this number was based on a recent Fortune 500 CEO survey that found that digital transformation was the top challenge facing all of the companies today. So again, that 100% really sticks out in my mind. And then, the other 86%, of executives, they see the pace of change increasing rapidly over the next 3 years, right? So, it's happening, and it's happening quickly, and it's not going to slow down either, and, we typically see, 4 key trends really driving, this digital transformation. The first one is just technology itself and how ubiquitous and disruptive, and it's everywhere, right? Like, I live in Chicago. I, commute on a train to work every morning. I don't think I see a single person that's not on a smartphone or some type of device, right, that's either, doing work or, maybe just passing the time playing a game. But the technology is there, right? It's mainstream. Everybody is using it. So it really is omnipresent. And we need to access what we need all the time, right, from whatever device we're on. The second one is a changing workforce, right? And that sort of goes into why the workforce is changing and the needs, why those needs are changing, right? Even myself, right, here at PCM, I need to be able to work wherever I need to work and get things done, right? I can't be tied to a desk. That's not the only place that I need to get work done. I really, really need to be able to engage, with my peers, with customers at any given moment, right? And, the other point there is, the variable working hours, right? I think the line has been blurred quite a bit between, your typical 9 to 5 and then what we see today. With having that access and with having all of that communication and collaboration enabled, we work when we need to work, right? And we get things done when we need to get things done. So, that would be the second thing really driving this. And the third thing driving digital transformation is this new type of cybersecurity threat, which is targeting customer data, and it can quickly and significantly damage a brand's reputation. You just look to the news, right? It seems like we see something almost every week, if not every month, where, we're reading about a new breach, right? Where, thousands, sometimes millions of customers' data has been exposed. The average cost of a data breach to an organization is around $3.5 million. And that has a huge impact on the brand trust. If I don't trust the company to handle my data and protect it, I'll find someone that will. So that's another thing driving the change. And all of these trends really, create a massive amount of business pressure, right? Customers and citizens, they're very savvy. The shift has been made from, consumers being sort of passive and sort of just, picking from what's there. They're an active participant in this process now. I'd like to sort of highlight, what I read from what happened with Tesla not too long ago, where, there was a tweet by a customer and, complaining about, charging stations and, people parking there all day long. And that customer was able to reach out, via social media and, critique and give their feedback. And that information was taken right away and acted on. But you really can't do that unless you have that infrastructure in place to collaborate and address issues very quickly. And here's the real issue, right, is a lot of businesses are not keeping up, with this pace of change. And a couple of reasons for that, right? Like, there is a lot of pressure and a huge amount of pressure on IT teams to deliver all these new solutions and different ways of communicating and getting work done. But often, there is no really coherent strategy, across the organization. And there's a lot of guidance out there and minimal guidance, to be honest with you, because, everybody from McKinsey to Samsung, they're offering different solutions and advice, and, it's where do I start, right? Like, where do I start down this path? I'm hearing different things from all these different companies on telling me how I should get, digital transformation going and initiated. So that's a scary number, right? 84% of digital transformation initiatives are failing, and it's pretty scary, right? But if you do get it right, there are some major benefits, and a lot of that is coming from organizational operations. I think it was said organizations that embrace this digital transformation, they generate on average 8% more operating income each year than those that sort of lag behind, in that transformation. If you look at some of the numbers there, I'm not going to dig into all of them, but it's sort of across the board. It affects many different areas. When you get this right, and transform into a digital solution. So this is a little slide here. This is Satya Nadella, just sort of stating his feeling on the journey of personal computing. And Microsoft really has three bold ambitions, right? They want to create a more personal computing experience. They want to reinvent productivity and business processes, and they want to build a very intelligent cloud platform. And this is sort of what's driving Microsoft and how they are doing things. And really the key to all this is putting people at the center of the experience, saying, what does this person need? How can we make it effective for them? How can we make it useful? This slide is sort of just giving you a visual representation of what Microsoft's unique vision is, centered around the person, right? The person drives everything, the experience that the person needs. So, Microsoft solutions, they want to empower, businesses to achieve greater things. They have, services like Office 365, which provide access to, the full Office suite from the cloud, right? So they can access it, save it, and get it later. Plus management and security services like Enterprise Mobility Suite, which will help safeguard the data, the files, wherever, people are working, right? And then crucially, they now have a range of innovative devices that complement those services so you can achieve more. And really that's, it says Microsoft devices on there, and I know I'm a Surface, business development manager, but, Microsoft does have a whole portfolio of devices that they're really looking to put out there. And there are customers, all sizes, we see it all industries, all stages of transformation that are looking to technology and devices to help shape the way they engage with their customers, the way they empower their employees, they optimize their business industries, and transform their products. A single device, that's never going to be the answer to everything when it comes to digital transformation. But we really have seen, Microsoft's portfolio being used in some amazing, innovative ways. They're helping companies anywhere from SMB to enterprises, really get going on that journey, that transformation journey. So just hit on a few of these because this sort of brings me back to the story that I talked about, right? Like, let's say, I walked into, the retail store to get my phone upgraded, and maybe I was greeted by a person that was holding a tablet. And, maybe that person was able to engage me right away, collect my information, enter it into the form digitally, and then have that information automatically transferred, to the next person that I'm going to work with, right? That's really empowering them to engage their customers and really delight their customers because speed is everything today. And that also empowers the employees, right? They feel like they have the tools that they need to get work done and to be effective. It optimizes the operational costs, right? So, when you're thinking about, all the different revenue streams and goals that you have to meet, like I was saying, people were walking out of the store, right? And that's definitely going to affect the bottom line for that company. So that's what I see, right? When we talk about Microsoft devices and the catalyst to digital transformation, it's helping, customers understand how to get that done in a more fast and efficient way. And it's the right device at the right time, right? Microsoft believes that people should have access to the right technology in every moment, right? And that technology should run on the same software and services so people can work on whatever device they want. Sort of imagine, right, if you're working on a document, maybe I'm on my way into work and I'm working on an Excel sheet or some other document on my phone. I'm editing it, I'm working on it, and then later on I'm going to walk in and I'm going to work on this with other people, maybe on a Microsoft Surface Hub that's sitting in our conference room. And being able to do that and just share what I've been working on my phone to this large screen and have it, no compatibility issues, no scaling issues, boom, it's just there. It's there when I need it and how I need it to work. And that's sort of what they mean by putting people at the center of the experience, right? Like, I need things to work for me. I need to be able to work on this and then share it later, and I don't need any hiccups. The technology should sort of fade in the background, if you will, right? And so this is, the portfolio of devices that Microsoft has, and that's why really Microsoft, is in the business of making devices, not just to evolve and improve, but really revolutionize, the way that people work, the way they learn and create, and really define or redefine and establish new categories of devices. So, really thinking outside of the box, trying to understand, hey, what is the goal here? What does that person need to be effective, right? Again, being human-centric to the experiences, personal computing. And they drive that, these devices drive that because they allow for a natural and personal interaction, right? You can interact with the pen, with touch, voice, engage multiple different ways, with the device. But they also sort of push, the envelope on what versatility means, right? So, by easily adapting from, something being more than just a smartphone or more than just a tablet, they adapt to the way that people move, whether it's at their desk, if they're, it's in their lap, on the go, or in a meeting, right? The versatility needs to be there in these devices, and I think it is. And then Microsoft does obsess over every single detail when they make these devices. If you ever get the chance, there are some, I think, great YouTube videos on there that really walk you through Microsoft design process and the teams that are involved and how they collaborate and how they bring people together to really try to drive innovation and quality in the devices, right? If you think about, the camera that's in these devices, they're used to look at your face when you log in with Windows Hello. The Surface Pen, it feels great in your hand. And when you write, it does really feel like a paper-like experience. So the point is, they really take their time. Everything is meticulously crafted. And everything works together, right? So like I was saying, everything needs to be connected, right? You need a connected experience. So, when I go from place to place or I swap to another device, I can't lose any of my productivity, right? I need it to be there. I need it to function. And that's really, digital transformation is more, right, than just a device. It's a lot of what I talked about, all the other services that Microsoft has, in terms of, Windows 10, Office 365, Enterprise Mobility Suite, all those things, right? Like, Microsoft is very uniquely placed to help customers through that journey because they have the right mix of hardware and software and services. It's all together now, right? So, they can offer a very, compelling, proposition and really, it's just an end-to-end focus on empowering businesses, right? That's what defines Microsoft. And really, I don't think any other company offers, that type of experience, to their customers. So, with that being said, I sort of breezed through this, but I did want to leave, some time, at the end here for some questions and some discussion. I'd love to open it up and, versus, going through the slides. I think a lot of times, we get a little bit better information when people are actually Axel to ask some questions, and we'll get into discussion. So if we want to open it up, Norman, right now, we can open it up to any questions that folks might have.
Thank you so much, Mike, for a lovely presentation. We have got a question from Louis. He's asking, all this is good, but I'm having difficulty in contacting someone in your company to start off the services. Can you call me up, or can you link me up to someone who can help?
Absolutely, absolutely. Nolan, if we could just take his contact information, and I'll reach out to him right after the presentation and make sure that he's connected with somebody on our team.
Sure, I will send you off the details of Louis. The second question I can see is from Jeff. He's asking, will there be a Surface phone as well?
Aha, a Surface phone. So right now, the phone situation is, it's Lumia. That's the brand that's out there. I've seen a lot of, I think we've all seen a lot of rumors, right, floating around about a Surface phone. And to be honest, I am one of the people that would love for that to be true and real and ready to go. But at this point in time, right, that's all it is. It is just rumor. We haven't seen anything from Microsoft to indicate, that they are launching a device. And I would guess, right, like, just based on what I stated earlier, right, they're going to be looking at, what is a phone, right? Like, what is it? Like, what do people really want to use it for and get work done with, right? I don't think that they're just going to come out and add to what's out there already, right? I think they're going to really look at, hey, do we really need to put out a new device, or can we get the same thing accomplished maybe just through software applications across all platforms, whether that be iOS or Android. So, it's exciting, right? I would absolutely love to have a Surface phone, but I have no information. I have no inclination of when that's going to happen. But I get excited every time that I read an article. So that would be the answer. In short, we have no idea, and hopefully we will see something soon. But I have no idea at this point.
Thank you so much. The next question is from Samira Sheikh. She's asking, Microsoft offers 2 years accidental damage for Surface Pro. Can we get it?
Absolutely. So the thing to watch out for is, Microsoft's retail stores offer extended warranty plans, Microsoft Complete, but there are commercial plans as well. So in the commercial channel, all the service plans that you're going to get in the commercial channel are going to be a minimum of 3 years, and you can get that with just extended hardware service, or you can get it with accidental protection, right? Microsoft Complete for Business. Another differentiator right there too between what you get, from the retail and then commercial. With retail, there is a $50 deductible that you have to pay if you do have to do an accidental claim. On the commercial side, that's built into the plan, so you never have to pay the deductible. It's just there, and then you have up to 2 claims that you can make. So I hope that answered the question, but let me know if you need more info.
Thank you. The next part of her question is, will there be a price drop as the new products come out?
To be honest, I can't answer that question. I have no idea really, what Microsoft's product transition, strategy is. I can say that, Microsoft did reduce price on a lot of the models, in the commercial channel by about $100, and they did that maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So they've already sort of gone in and dropped pricing there, and I have no idea, right, if it's going to drop more or not. But what I would say is, the Surface Pro 4, all the devices that are currently out there are a great device. There's still a lot of demand for them. They are built from the ground up for Windows 10, and they're going to be a great device moving forward no matter what. So, I don't know if there'll be any price changes or anything that, if and when a new device is launched. But I would say, the price drop is there. It's a great device at a great price, and I would move on it.
Thank you so much, Mike. Her comments are thank you. This was helpful. Okay, the next question I have is from Keith Zimmerman. He is asking, we are operating Surface Pro 4 tablets in a secured network environment and are having issues with having to reset the user access control continuously with required restart to operate devices within our firewall. Is there a solution to this problem?
I'm quasi-technical, so I think we would have to sort of look at exactly what type of firewall you're using. I can definitely reach out to the technical team at Microsoft and see if there is a known issue or compatibility issue with that. But what I guess I would ask as well, please collect his contact information. I'd love to, dig into that and see if I can get him an answer. Because I'm not 100% sure, have I seen a lot of issues like that? No, not really. That's not been an issue that I've dealt with personally from most of our customers that have deployed Surface Pro 4. But there always is that one-off thing that sometimes can happen that gums everything up. So, I'd love to reach out to the technical team and get an answer for him.
Thank you so much, Mike. I'll share the contacts after the webinar is finished. Okay, the next question I have is from Andrea. They're asking, do you have on-site support for the Surface like Dell, or do you have to ship to a depot? For example, Dell next day on-site support.
So the way that Microsoft service is set up from Microsoft, right, is it is not on-site support. So when you do buy an extended service plan or Microsoft Complete for Business, what that does is it sets you up for something that's called advanced exchange. So if you do have a device that goes down, when you make the claim with Microsoft, they send the device immediately. And it usually arrives within 2 business days, and then you have, I think, 30 days to return the defective unit back to Microsoft. But it isn't on-site support, and they do leverage their partners like PCM and OnPoint to sort of help fill some of those gaps. And what we've seen, is engaging with our services team, and seeing the type of offers we can give, present to sort of offset that, right? Because I know on-site support has been a pretty big issue, right? For some customers, they really need that. They rely on it. Microsoft is aware, right, that it's not perfect yet. But the other thing to keep in mind is Microsoft's fairly new when it comes to the hardware game. They are about 4 years old, so they're continually building their support infrastructure. But I think what you'll see is, they are going to leverage their partners quite a bit for these types of services. So I would say, definitely engage with our accounting team, engage with our services team, and we can find a solution.
Thank you so much, Mike. The next question is from Des Simeoni. He's asking, is the Surface Pro 5 coming out this year?
So I don't have any information officially from Microsoft on any new product. What I can say is that Microsoft has sort of committed to a 12 to 18 month refresh cycle on their devices. So if you look at when the Surface Pro 4 was launched, I think that was October, was it 2015? I think October 2015. So we are right in that sweet spot based on what they've stated, what their refresh cycle is going to be on the devices. And they've also stated, right, that there's not going to be a huge change when it comes to form factor, right? They know that enterprise customers and business customers, they need some kind of stability and planning, right? So they've committed to no, big form factor changes. What you can expect, right, is to be, faster, lighter, you know, next gen processors, all that good stuff. That's what you can expect, right, from maybe a next Surface Pro device. Now, I can't comment on anything else that they might lay out there. They like to surprise us. So when they announced Surface Book, I had no idea that was coming. So they always have something up their sleeve, I feel. But that's all I know, right? I don't have any official information in terms of like a launch date product. But I can give you that, right? They're going to commit to a 12 to 18 month refresh cycle. So we're about there.
Thank you so much, Mike. I can see a couple more questions. Are there programs in place if you are interested in Surface but have not deployed Windows 10?
Yeah, absolutely. So, PCM on point, we do have a services team that can go on site, right, and help customers deploy, test, all the things, that companies need, right, to deploy a new OS. PCM on point has that ability. And Microsoft has programs and funding programs in place that will help offset the services costs to the end customer, right? So, if we go in there, we'll nominate the customer with Microsoft and say, hey, this is what we're doing. We're helping with deployment and adoption of Windows 10 and Surface. I think they're a good candidate. Let's help them out. Let's cover some of the services costs to get there, right? So those things are definitely in play. And I think currently there are a couple of different programs like that that'll run through the end of June. And if you need more information on that, just feel free to reach out to your account executive, and they'll in turn reach out to us and we get them all the details. So.
Thank you so much. What is better, Surface Pro 4 or Surface Book?
So that's a great question. I think they're great. They're both great devices, but I think Surface Pro 4, is really for that user that is mobile, right? They really value portability over everything else, and productivity because, again, it's the tablet that can replace your laptop. So, it has that true tablet form factor. But still, with the power, you can get all the way up to an i7 1 terabyte drive, 16 gig of RAM. So even though it's a tablet, it's a very powerful device. So, I think definitely the Surface Pro 4, that fits in with, any mobile workforce that's out there or executives that are going from meeting to meeting. I think it's great. Surface Book would be more or less, like where you're really sitting down and you need to get work done, right? It's that more traditional clamshell type device, but with the screen does detach, and then you can use that as a clipboard and walk around and document things, maybe collaborate with people, in a portable sense, and then bring that back to your desk, reattach the screen, and boom, just start working on everything. And then there's additional power in the base of the Surface Book as well, so a lot more graphics power for applications like AutoCAD or, Adobe, things like that. So I would say that's the main difference between the two. The Surface Book is not as light as the Pro, definitely. So, but I still haul around everywhere, and I like it. So, so that would be my answer on that one.
Thank you so much, Mike. There's one more question which just came in. Is there a contract or subscription to have a Surface? And it's from Vincent Remedy.
So there are a few things that have been mentioned out there. I know Surface as a service has been mentioned by Microsoft. And there are definitely programs in place to get this done. I think it's somewhat still being ironed out from an operational aspect, just because there are a lot of wheels in motion when we go through that with financial companies and in our company and legalities. So I would say yes, it is available, and we can get it done. But I think, it's not quite there, but I think it will be very soon, at least in the commercial channel. I believe Microsoft may have their own version on the Microsoft Store that they've worked out, but with their commercial partners, it's a little bit different in terms of how it works. I think that's mostly due just the quantity, right? We're dealing with enterprise customers sometimes that have thousands of devices, so it's a little bit different.
Thank you, Mike. His next part of the question is, does Microsoft have their own financing?
Yes, I believe they do. We, here at PCM, right, we have many different financing partners that we work with. So, I think definitely, I know there is one. I don't know how often we went through Microsoft financing, and that just may be, the messaging hasn't been really pushed out as much, on there from marketing or whatnot. But no, they do. They have their own financing department.
Thank you so much, Mike. These are the questions which I can see in the question box. If you still have any questions after we finish, please email us at mec@pcm.com, and we'll be more than happy to answer those. And they'll all be answered by Mike. And before I end, Mike, have you got any closing comments? So before I close.
No, just really wanted to thank everyone. Thank you for the questions. Really appreciate it. I was excited to do the presentation, and I'll definitely follow up with those the couple of customers that needed additional help. And thanks again.
Thank you so much, Mike, for a lovely presentation and also answering the questions. I will surely share the contacts after the webinar is over. And with that, thank you all for joining us today. Please be sure to check out our website for future webinars and upcoming webinars, and also the video will be posted on the webinar page as well. Thanks again for joining us, and we hope to see you for future webinars. Have a great day. Thank you.